I want to show you a 45 RPM jukebox made by Rowe, one of the last 45 RPM jukeboxes out there. This is the R92. Quick history. Rowe assigned the year onto every model number, which is really a great idea. I think starting in the R75 or 6, I'm not sure when it started, but I do know when it ended. The R94 in 1994 was the last 45 jukebox manufactured. This is the R92, cleverly made in 92. Look, this one is lit by a series of 11-watt colored lamps inside the machine that give it this beautiful look. Also a fluorescent, one single fluorescent tube rather than two. And then up here we have 6 74 bulbs that light our CD compartment. And their animator motor, they use the same motor all these years to spin the CD jukeboxes. You know why they made these? Because locations wanted that newfangled CD that just came out. And they were really annoyed if their vendor only had a 45. So by coming out with this very clever combo box, which was very clever, they could offer 100 45s and 6 CDs to play. Originally, they only offered 80 45s and 6 CDs. And then the vendors said they needed more 45s. So there's actually 2 different kinds of panels. See this plastic panel? This holds 145 labels and 6 CDs. But there was another panel that had just 80 and the 6 CDs. But they might as well use every space if they could. So they got tons and tons of selections. I think originally they were thinking you won't have to buy all those 45s, because if you think about it, you had to buy a 45 for every slot, that's 100, and then you had to buy 6 CDs, so you had to spend a lot of money to stock your jukebox. But I guess the vendors said, we want all 100, so that's what they did. Now, I want to show you a couple things. By the way, it's coming up with the error because it's looking for the bill acceptor, which is not there. Yeah, see this part here? This slides down and locks in.
That keeps you out of the emergency room.
Yeah, see these holes here? One of those broke and bounced down on my head.
Still have a scar from it? Let's look.
I don't know, someplace. I don't even remember which side of my head it was on. You had to show my bald spot.
Every chance I get.
Now look, you already know these slip down like this. This way you're able to put in your 45, your CD selection. Do you know that your CD actually has in the CD built-in jukebox label, but you had to have the right program to set that off. So you can't actually see the thing unless you have the program. So you put your CD in your home computer, you put a jukebox label in, and you have the program that'll let you print the label right from the CD, so you don't have to hand type in all this. Isn't that a neat little fact? I wonder, you think if the 45, if I shoved that in my computer, you think it could print the label, Frank?
Your computer's old enough, it probably would work.
Probably. Now look, to access, you push these things here, that swings open the panel. This is where I can show you the Pioneer home player that's sitting in there. See how it's floating? It's sitting on 4 springs. It's a 6-disc player, and it uses their popular Cartridge-Matic. And look, it's for home and car use. Gosh, I guess there were cars that used the same thing, Frank.
Yeah, there was.
It was the future.
I can remember you put them in the trunk, it was all the rage.
Now, we tell people when we sell them the jukebox, if the CD player is working, we'll give it to you. No extra charge, but when it breaks, that's the end of it, because there are no replacements for these. So it's a kind of a little plus, but I'm going to show you a little trick though. But let me show you. That's what connects the Pioneer jukebox to the Rowe computer up here.
The Pioneer jukebox to the Rowe computer?
Did I say Pioneer? The Pioneer disc player. You know, I could cut that out and people will not think I'm stupid.
1,100 videos, I know.
I can't keep it all sorted. There's no script here. By the way, I think this machine is $15.49. What do you think? You think it's 15? What about this side here? $15.40. Anyway, there's our player. Okay, it's waiting Jukebox is waiting. That's also floating, see? Everything's waiting. We have a brand new record in there, a brand new needle in
Brand
there.
new record? That's a nice
That's a
record.
Shure cartridge, state of the art, the best cartridge money can buy. The tone arm is adjusted down to very lightweight on top of your precious 45s. You'd actually have to play the record for about 1,000 times to ruin it. Eventually the diamond cuts into the vinyl. I guess you all know. Sapphire didn't dig into the record as much, but people thought the sound was pure with diamond. That wasn't me. It is a belt drive turntable. The mechanism, Rowe mechanism, has the least amount of moving parts. A terrific mechanism, because there's very little in here to go wrong. Very little. That's why we like this machine the most.
Least amount of moving parts?
Least amount. Now, just so you can see.
Where's the hard drive?
Now, if you go down there, I'm going to select 5002. There's one disc in there, and it happens to be a Christmas disc. Locating the disc, you can hear it making its noises. And the needle is dropped down on top of the disc. The CD.
The laser needle?
The laser needle's playing like this. Even this song's copyrighted. Can you believe so? We can only play. Now, oddly enough, I can't cancel the CD player except by pushing the button here or turning that to service. You can't actually, isn't that something you can't disconnect that? Pain in the neck. You would do that. But that means the poor location has to hear the whole CD, the whole tune playing without the ability of rejecting. Anyway, let's slide this up. Oh, by the way, these clips, you can buy these from Hap Controls. They still sell these. They go right there. It's the same video. You know, Jonathan, these videos don't get made.
We're supposed to leave like an hour ago.
Yeah.
Well, tomorrow's another day.
Complaints, moaning, pissing. You're just never happy. Now, let's get back here real quick. See how nice this lights up over here? Now, you can make a selection or you can hit popular. The jukebox will select a record that considers the most light bulb. I'm trying to video. It's going to pick out a record.
Get out of my way.
There it is. It flops down on the turntable. A popular song. Now, the 45 you can cancel here. By the way, see this green board? That's to adjust when the record player knows, when the tone arm knows it's the end of the record. There's a little tiny glass enclosed switch there.
Kind of like the Super Checks magnetic reed switches.
Yes, just like the Super Checks. Isn't that nice?
Loose!
You said that in yesterday's video. And
say
my
that in
coffee
every
better
video.
still be hot.
3 hours ago.
And what are you doing with your hand on your head? Huh?
Think this color got a little smoky?
Oh, wow, look. Steven is obviously bringing it back to the original gorgeous blue.
You can see underneath the washer the original color.
Wow. Takes a while, doesn't it?
Is it done? Can we wrap it?
Is
It's done. Is it done? 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 They're never happy, are they?
There'd be something wrong if we were happy.
Well, I was just finished. The final touches. The wheels on the bottom have been replaced with brand new wheels. I'm not going to turn it over to show you, but the wheels take the biggest hit on these boxes, and obviously you don't want to roll it into the customer's home and have 4 big rust marks. At least I wouldn't like that. Anyway, we're done this. Let's go up front because I want to show you a Metallica we're in the process of updating. I need somebody to film. Let Chris, RoboCop.
Hurt?
You think you're hot, cop?
You a good cop? Hot shot?
Another Metallica going out. This is the LED version. When the game first came out, it was light bulbs. Just light bulbs.
Bulbs?
The bulbs we've been using since 1935. But now they re-released the game, made a whole new run with the LEDs in place, and of course it just completely dramatically changes the look of the game. And I understand you boys have uploaded, they put the latest code in, and of course the game contains adult language. Jonathan, I hope you didn't listen to the adult language.
I did.
Rather say adult language rather than adult language. Look. Worthless, useless.
That's Kurt.
Kurt's out on service. Listen, I almost forgot to tell you. ED Cancelliere moves games on the East Coast. And I did this once before. I actually had this neat little clip. Let me cut away to that. This is Ed, and Ed moves games. So if you need games moved pretty much on the East Coast, Ed, what do you say? What states do you cover?
New York, Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania,
Pennsylvania,
Rhode Island,
Rhode Island,
Massachusetts.
tax cities. Ed will come pick up the games wherever you need them picked up and then bring them to your house. I've known this man for 20 years. As a matter of fact, Ed's little girl and my little girl were babies. We used to hold them together 20 years ago. And now, his baby's 20 and my baby's 20. But he's a great guy. That's how you get a hold of him. He can come and move the games, pick up stuff, wrap stuff, and you can store stuff too, whatever. So you gotta call this guy. Anyway, notice I don't have a coat on. So I think I need to go back and get my coat. Let's go back inside. Ed can move games for you. I promised I'd squeeze that in. Of course, I squeezed it right in between the Metallica overload video. I don't know if you saw the other. We did another Metallica. I think that's the one with light bulbs, where we did the spoof on uploading up here. It does take a long time.
Half an hour.
Yeah, it's a good time. Here's a quick clip from that. Are we almost erased, Jonathan?
Probably not.
I think. Here, let's pause. We're going to come back in a moment. Still waiting. It's almost now it's programming it with the new stuff. Oh, we got a long wait ahead of us, don't we? Still waiting. Still waiting. Still waiting. I'm still waiting. Still waiting. Still waiting. Look. I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist. I see you doing that. Have the volume low. People can't hear it. That's better. There we go. Not doing much of anything. I like it has the magnet here, magnet feature. So when you have that activated, you see how it grabs it? See how it shot it down? That's sharp. Really nice. A lot of nice features. Not sharp.
So let's sample.
That looks like me in the toilet. Beautiful. I think we've had enough, haven't we?
Yeah.
We have had enough. So I think the customer will be very happy when he gets this machine. What do you think?
Yep.
What?
Let's get ready to work on a jukebox.
Well, I think our video has plenty of good stuff in it. Good night. Good night. And remember, smoking is bad for your health.
We're in the yellow pages under Amusements.